Hello, so good to meet you at our global motivational meeting. We are reading World Scriptures book. These God's words that inspire billions of people, families, communities, countries, and the whole world. And we'll help you to just read these quotes and practice in your daily life. As we read this holy book from beginning, please find all the chapters at our Message to Billion channel. And let's see what God prepared for us today. Martyrdom. When people of faith encounter hostile authorities who feel threatened by their conviction and values, some may pay the ultimate price. Father Moon explained from a spiritual viewpoint that wherever goodness advances, Satan exacts his toll. That is why it is often the best people who are sacrificed. The word martyr means witness, and their steadfastness in the face of death. The martyrs bear testimony to their faith and to God, who inspires such faith. The example of that martyrdom who places God above his or her own life is powerful and inspired. Martyrdom, therefore, threatens the community of faith, being its roots and furthering its growth. Tertullian's famous wrote, "The blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church." Today, some regard the fighters who die in the course of offensive operations that take innocent lives, suicide bombers, or as martyrs. If that is martyrdom, it is the weakest form. The highest form of martyrdom stands on the foundation of goodness and mercy. Even as Jesus blessed the Roman soldiers who nailed him to the cross, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. Then they will deliver you upon to tribulation and put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. Surely the gate of paradise are beneath the shadow of sword. Could not those who were slain in God's way as dead, but rather living with their Lord, by him provided rejoicing in the bounty that God has given them, and joyful in those who remain behind and have not joined them, because no fear shall be upon them, neither shall they sorrow, joyful in the blessing and bounty from God, and that God leaves not towards the wage of the believers. And those who answer their God and the messenger after the whom have smitten them, to all those of them who did good and feared God shall be a mighty wage. Holy is the death of the heroic men who lay down their lives in an approved cause. Such a one may be called heroes, as at the divine portal obtain true honor. Obtaining honor at the divine portal, with the honor they depart. And in the hereafter they suffer not. Such reward they shall obtain if on the soul Lord they meditate, whose service drive away all fears. They utter not aloud their suffering, they bear all in their minds. The Lord himself know all. Holy is the death of the heroic men who lay down their lives in a approved cause. When Rabbi Akiba was taken out for execution, it was the whole for the restore of the Shem, and while they combat his flesh with the iron comb, he was accepted upon himself the kingship of heaven by reciting the Shema. His disciples say to him, "Our teacher, even to this point," he said to them, "All my days I have been troubled over this verse with all your soul," which is interpreted even if he takes your soul. When shall I have the opportunity to fulfill this? Now that I have the opportunity, shall I not fulfill it? The prolonged the last word of the Shema until he expired while saying it. When the Raja of Kalinga mutilated my body, I was at the time free from the idea of an ego identity, a personality, a being, a separated individuality. Wherefore, because then when my limbs were cut away piece by piece, had I been bound by the distinctions aforesaid, the feelings of anger and had would have been aroused within me. If physical death is the price that I must pay to free my white brothers and sisters from a permanent death of the spirit, then nothing can be more redemptive. Further, let's say it goes from the second coming Messiah, Father Simon, great religions were born and grew up in the soil of persecution and martyrdom. They stand on the foundation of the precious traditions of their founders. Therefore, we must not avoid sacrifices as we recover the original honor of our religion. Throughout the history, religions have taught the value of sacrifice ultimately to guide people in approaching God. The stairway to heaven has thousands of steps. For each step, God must triumph and Satan must be defeated. But each time Satan demands his maximum price as sacrifice. Satan does not like to be defeated. That is why so many martyrs appears in Christian history. Christianity has produced more martyrs than any other religion because it is the central religion of the providence. To human eyes, each martyr that looked like a setback, yet in fact it was a victory for God. The martyrs are the reason Christianity kept advanced victoriously despite oppositions and persecutions. At every step, Satan demanded a huge sacrifice as the price for his defeat. Christianity today is proud of its history of martyrdom. In every place and every age, wherever Christianity spread, its martyrs have shed blood. The blood they shed laid the foundation for Christian missions. However, we should not just reflect on the miserable sacrifices suffered by individuals, families, or groups. Know that God, in guiding them, walked a path more tragic than theirs. Have you ever thought that you might be defeated or fall away? Never allow it to happen, even at the point of death. You should not waver even in the face of execution by a fiery squad of the torture of having each of your fingers severed. Live your entire life this way and you will have transcended life and death. Then you can be a friend of God because he is transcendent of life and death. Though you might be killed, since you transcend life and death, you will live on as a friend of God. No matter what pain, sorrow, and suffering they may face, those who know that their position based upon the universal teaching are not shaken, they shall overcome those hills. Those who think I am a person who can tolerate this suffering and I will not suffer it even on this hill of death are successful in the course of life. Those who think I will not change the direction of my life, no matter what hills of persecution and death came to me, I have a value that cannot be replaced with anything under the sun. All citizens of heaven, wherever on death they live or die, they still belong to heaven. Many people were martyred in the 2000 years of Christian history. You should be ready to follow in their footsteps, saying, I offer my life to heaven. My death will lay the foundation to liberate all the people. Then you will surely create that foundation. When the time comes, instead of 10,000 people dying, God will fulfill his promise to you and save the important people in your family and tribe. Your sacrifice is that important. As long as your foundation remains, future generation will stand on that foundation and raise up. At the time of Jesus' death, Israel and Rome were his enemies, but rather than curse these enemies, Jesus loved them and taught his disciples to love them. He restored Rome. He resolved, Rome may be my enemy today, but in the future, Rome will surely be blessed through my followers. That blessing was more than enough to save Rome. Jesus wanted more than anything to give Rome this blessing. Thinking of Rome's future, he forgave the Roman soldiers and blessed them. A person who becomes a martyr in order to enter heaven will fall down to hell. However, a person who is willing to go into hell in order to send the whole world to heaven will be brought into the kingdom of heaven, even if he protests. So powerful quotes for today. If you have difficulties, please watch one more time this video, share this video as we end this billion happy life subscribers marathon. Contact me for consultation, cooperation, and become a member of this Heavenly Parents Holy Community globally. The contacts are below. Write your comments or questions, how these quotes help you today. And turn on suggestion playlists, choose the best one from what we prepare for you, and listen God's words all day and stay blessed. See you tomorrow with more powerful quotes. Yours, Nicolae. Bye bye.